not what made Christianity what it is. If the gospel we heard was that of death and its burial, the hope of Christianity would have been useless. That was why I don't want any woman for any reason to feel marginalized. That's why when I look at you here, you can't do anything. When you say the best gospel should have been preached by lawyers and women. Because the last people that saw Jesus when he rose was who? A woman. Go tell them. We were in Benin, and a woman who calls herself an apostle was harassed by another man. And they said in the church that women should. I said, who gave you that thing? He said, Paul wrote. I said, Paul is limited. Paul does not know as he ought to know. The one they are preaching now about is the one that told the woman, go and preach. Why stop her? The one that she's talking about is the one you are quoting Paul, but they had from Jesus directly. Say, go tell them I have risen. Meanwhile, you are carrying dead gospels around. Say, you don't have a right to shout at us. I said, madam, what did you call yourself? If the man is angry, put less there, apostle less, so that you'll be more angry. He said, these are people who you want something that will make you special. If you say Jesus and she says Jesus, what's the difference? I like to see churches where women are very active. Not active cleaning floor. Active reading the Bible. Active teaching the Bible. Because it promotes the gospel of Jesus. But when you meet the uneducated ones, female chauvinists, they will tell you, not knowing the background of that story. The fucking nonsense. Pastor Milengeni, I know what we are afraid of too much is death. Is that not true? I remember telling my brother, the one day I will die. And I've written my obituary. I'm dead. I'm telling you last month. But do you know Jesus died? Everybody will die. Thank you. He was buried. Will everybody be buried? Yes. If they don't bury you, you will rot in them and but do you notice the subject of resurrection is only the one that discussed it? It's the only one that said, I'm going and I'm coming back. I'm going, I am coming back to meet you. And if you have understanding of the spirit of resurrection, you will understand that with that spirit, you never say that is the end. With the spirit of resurrection, you never come to a place where you say, Nkemaguna. When those Jews threw him into that hole, even though the hole was not his own, because gods don't have grave. I can tell you where Muhammad was buried is in Kaaba. And behind it, beneath that Kaaba is only serpents. I'll go and hear Julia. Because they threw some treasures in there and allowed the snakes to be, occasionally they come out. Buddha has a grave. Shinto has a grave. But when the religious body gave him one, he walked out and made the owner very rich. They still go to Israel to see the grave of Jesus. And when they got there, found it, they said, the man you are looking for is not here. This is not his home, he has gone. See, the problem that we have and why we're not seeing the resurrection power is that we have so much fear. And this fear is a byproduct of what we suffered before, what we think we are going to suffer, and what we have been told. The children of Israel came to the brink of who? Of the river, what? Red Sea. And they were told that Pharaoh and the rest were coming behind them. The first thing they remembered was how peaceful they were. And they turned back to ask Moses, was it because there were no graves there that you brought us to die here? You would have left us to settle for cucumber and garlic. And if you look at your Bible very well, in the book of Proverbs, any man who loves that too much will never be rich. It's a cheap life. Whatever makes you like food more than work is only sending you close to your grave. And when Pharaoh came closer, Moses got up. Stand still. Genesis 14:13. Stand still. What does it mean to stand still? In the midst of your trouble, that's when you grow your faith. Faith is not grown talking. Faith is grown when trouble is staring you face to face with your eye. The Red Sea is there and Pharaoh is behind with all manner of weapons. And the only thing Moses had to offer was, stand still. You will see the salvation of the Lord, which he will show you today. And I don't know who I'm talking to. Salvation has come to your house today. I don't know who you are. I don't know what the weight of your trouble is. I don't know what is your challenge. But salvation has come to your house today. Oh, I don't know whether you understand something. He says, stand still. Do you have enough faith? A wavering man with a wavering heart is like the wave of the sea. He can receive nothing from God. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways, James said. Let him not think he will receive anything. Philemon 14 said, without your mind I will do nothing. So that if your profiting may appear, your profiting may be inside, but you can never see it. Because fearful people take no steps and they see nothing. I told you in this church, if your dream does not break your back, it's not worth a dream. If the vision you have does not make you get up in the night when they get a Chineke low to Ege, because he has to be the one to lead it. He has to be the one to lead it for you to be right. If it does not break your back once and you say, Lord, how will I get this thing down? It's not a vision, it's a confusion. Because every genuine vision from God will bring you face to face with something like a Red Sea. They look red, but you will cross it. They look like they're going to swallow you, but you are coming out of it. Sometimes your BP will rise. How many people actually had gone through BP rising conditions? If you have not, I have. When we were building here, you thought I was eating champagne and caviar? Even the chain, my bishopric chain, I sold it for 1.something million. Because it's 24 karat gold. Very long. At some point I thought, how will this be? You see my face, I come out, you think, and inside I'm baking. But that is because it is God. Stand still. You will see the salvation of the Lord. As we see you celebrate Easter, let your faith rise for what you are going to do. Beat your chest when you get home and say, I'm going to finish it. Tell yourself, no matter the matter, this matter will go. Because my faith is not hinged on what I see. My faith is hinged on the Lord. When they got to the graveside, the first thing they told them, they said, who will turn away the stones? That's true of life. If you have not entered that situation before, you are a walking corpse. See, greatness rises on the back of fear. Fear is the machine that propels courage. Who shall take away this stone? Obuka. My life is tied to what is inside there. My hope is tied to the grave. Everything I want is behind the other side. Who will roll away the stone from me? It's natural to life. When you come there, when Mary had, she was, when he was with her here, how shall this be? It's the language of everybody who is going to be great. Mary did not say no, it's not going to work. What did he say? How can this be? I've reached my wit's end. The much I know I've exhausted. But if you are still insisting, you are the one that made the heavens and the earth, then tell me how. At least come out to Shagay. He didn't say no, it will not. He said, how shall this be? We were discussing with a few people yesterday, and I told them my dreams and vision for the next 5-6 years. And one of them said, Pastor, I'm church. I said, my life is not tied to that church. What I'm doing is not tied to the number of the church. Because if God puts that kind of money in your hand, what will you do? You won't do it? Stop looking for number. That was what nearly destroyed Moses, not David. David went to war and succeeded with few men. Another war came. God said, you are going to succeed. David ordered for census. Oh, was census bad? No. David was not only counting men, he was counting on men. Onya Abekura Church. Hey, project Jonya no haya hey, Kagadada. Sister Mbechi, Brother Geoffrey. Hey, Paulinus, came by 1 month, and you be your record. Why are you asking that? It's not because you are looking for their welfare. It's because you are thinking of a project. A friend in need is who? Is a complete nuisance. I said it somewhere. When I say a friend in need, they say it's a friend in need. I say it's not a friend in need. It's a nuisance. I also saw somebody with a problem. See America, Did you get what I'm saying? David began to count on men. And God said, David, this one, you have blown it. Say, now ask from, choose from this. Famine, destruction, and what again? And running from the enemy. David looked at them and Onya si nye poison ya simba. I said trailer shiboya. How about the same thing go? Which one will you choose? That's where he wrote Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. And if you don't understand that verse of scripture, number one, you won't understand so many things. Whenever a shepherd endures the little lamb for too much, or they will here, who will you about you? Organo shepherd, I know here. Evaporate, there be a tie help when we get the group here until look what David said, which one will I choose? And one of them choose the bone. You are the shepherd. I'm on name with the kitten for me, maybe. Let me fall back on you than allow my enemies kill me. That's the meaning of the Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. Oh, come on, man, but you can no for tear me here. But you could not come, will be Omega. And I put them on doors. That's why we wrote that thing. When you come to the graves, the seemingly dying situations that look like it's death is staring in your face, don't give up your hope. There's always resurrection power around you. He said, lo, I will be with you forever. It became sin so that you, through his sin, will be free. Is that not true? He became poor so that you, through his poverty, will become rich. Let's read Isaiah 53. My message say this one is not too long. Isaiah 53, 1-5. Are you there? Isaiah 53, 1-5. Are you there?
Yes, sir. Who has believed?
Let us read in concert. Go ahead. Read now, but low to me.
Who has believed our report?
The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and by the stripes of Italy appear here, because every time, you know the stripe of Italy. I've taught you the science of crucifixion in this church. The whip they used to him has nails on it, in it. If you go to the Arab world till today, when they want to celebrate some things, because they have that kind of program there, when they want to remember some martyrs that died, they do that. They have something like a nail whip like that they used to flog themselves. And you see them, each time they pull the thing out, blood will be gushing. I taught you the strength of blood here, is that not true? Every time blood surges, what is it coming to do? It's coming to heal. Because life is in the blood. So when you tear the flesh, the blood comes to heal. The blood heals first. The blood carries the properties of healing. All medicines are found in the blood. Even if you put your medicine in your mouth, you still go through your belly to get into your blood before it heals you. It surges out. And when it comes, the first thing, it will run for some time, and then it begins to block the face of that wound. Because every healing is in the blood. By that stripe, each time they gave him one, they yacked it. The flesh would tear. And what was behind that was there was somebody called John Ekunike that will come about one day to become the Son of God. And that blood would have cleansed him. Now, they said if you look at his face, there was no glory in the face to behold, to have take anything from him. Do you know the soldiers that kept him? They were not just 2x4 soldiers. They were soldiers who really had gone through war. That when their hands grips a sword, even when they lift the sword, the thing is still glued to their hand. I can have roller sapu, sponge. And then these were the men who slapped him. They were gladiators and trained men with sound muscles. Abundant haka Moses. Ndi nwere akwa obi. Ha kwa gbam. You are hearing. Akukwe ọzọ. But before you think it's that one I'm talking about, who do you represent? What do you project? Both in your business and in your life and family. Each time they see your family, don't they see the face of Jesus that is smashed? When they look at your relationship with your wife, your spouse and all that, what do they see? Nothing glorious to say these people are Christians. Nothing wonderful that will attract them to your church. The greatest evangelism today is not the one you knock on the door. It's your character. And I return it back to you now. How many people followed you to church? No values, no character, lifestyle zero. I want to change it na television to I know about none of them has enough character to win one soul. He said, when they see your kind of Christianity, there is no color in it that somebody will behold it and say, you're a Christian. That is the Jesus that rose. I take it a little farther. Did he die for you? You sure? Are you no queer no okay believe here? How many people did you die for? Or are you not a Christian? Just in case you don't know what those people meant when they called Christian. Christian is a pagan name given to Christians. It was pagans that called Christian Christian. Is that not true? When they looked at it, there was something they saw. When people look at you, what do they see? Unkabu mother, poverty, brainlessness. Agota. It died for you. Who actually have you died for? Because these are the things to consider on a resurrection morning. He resurrected and brought so many people. If you get to Matthew, he said when he resurrected, the graves were opening. Is that true? The graves of others. What is a grave? Hindrance. Okay. Another one. Ignorance. I can accept that. Okay. Man chokwa ki usiki kawaram ko si bring ignorance. Ya bukona nam to okunon. But kai we me gesol start. Another one. In the grave is where people bury their talents. People who would have become great, who are not great, by whatever reason. The richest place in the world is not the central bank, not the gold field. It's the graveyard. Where great men they had, because they couldn't bring it out. Now one man rose and opened the grave of so many people. How many people's grave are you willing to open this resurrection morning? Who will say because of you is going to find a new phase of life? Who will say today, I met you and my life is going to change? Jesus, the one you answer. Because you are co-heirs with him. Is that not true? Huh? Whose grave are you opening today? Who will, because of you, find direction? Who will, because of you, come out for foolishness? Because who can you make realize himself? Self can be a grave where people lock in their destiny. Oh, think about it this resurrection morning. Think about it. I don't want to get into any deep thing. I just want to keep it very simple. How many people will look at you because you are rising, they rise. Because you are succeeding, they succeed. In the graves of people. Somebody walks up to you and says, I don't have a way to school. I said, I didn't go to the kind of school you went to, but I went to the one that's recognized also. This is the way. And because of you, I found this way. Where is this girl? Chinyere. You know Chinyere, the one I call Chinyere Joto, the small one. Short black one. Chinyere Keke. It's not a parish priest with a redeem. All that he learnt here was so heavy that when he went to that church, they gave her a parish to marry. Being a woman, they gave her. When she came from Ijoba. What is that, your church? Huh? Soteria. Soteria ministry. Okay. She came from Soteria. She was wearing one big gown. Ebara rubber nuku. Then Fuchi, when she came, I sent her to Bible school. When she was through, I said, put that damn nonsense away from you. I gave her a book. I said, there are two people I want you to be like. Who is that? Who is the talking woman? The fair yellow one. Huh? Joyce Meyer. I gave her a book of Joyce Meyer and gave her another one by, what is it? Huh? Not Catherine Kuhlman, another one. The Tabernacle woman. Jonita Bagnum. I gave her 2 books. I said, choose from these ones who you want to be like. I don't have a role model and woman as a preacher around here, but I can give you those 2. They're not the best, but they can inspire you. She read the 2 books and we employed her as a receptionist. One day she walked up to my office and Daddy told me the story of their home, and I said, listen, I didn't go to State University. I went through distant education. And then there's no difference in both. I said, look at my head. Why isn't like somebody who went through distant education? I said, no. That's okay. What do you want to study? Pub admin. That's fine. Like how someone would say, Angama. She went to, what is that one? Nnamdi Azikiwe. I said, 5 years, you'll be a graduate. And after 5 years, she came out with a certificate. One morning, she said she's relocating to Lagos. I said, goodbye. First of all, she went to Adefara Saints Church. She called me to tell me somebody dashed her a piece of land in Lekki. You know what that means? One small piece of land in Lekki is over 40, 50 million. Oh. So somebody dashed her. I said, Jishike. I said, I cannot finish writing the story of my life without mentioning your name. I said, thank you. From the grave church where she was, she came out and was open for her. She became a graduate, is now pastoral. My advice to her last week was, ina pastor kwa. Chabo kwenye ga pastor genono. Gano na abane mogo, sine mekwa ono. Ikotago. Kana abara ono na abaja. Yo na da ozozu. Did you get what I'm saying? Ato chakwam. Told her that she understood. Make sure. Keep your standard 2, 3. Let God be the first. Whether he has or not, and you see some trace, don't marry for love. That's what I told her. Don't marry because the man they quote Bible. You must have something inside here. If he doesn't have a brain, he's going to be your big son. And trouble with that little ministry, your hand, it will choke life out of it. When a man has vision and loves God, when both of you come, the love will rise. The love will grow naturally, will grow the love. Let me keep that one there. Whosoever the Son of Man has set free is what? John 8:36. When God saves a man, he saves him all round. 3 John 2 said what? I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in health, even as thy soul prospers. Is that true? So you see the tripartite nature of man protected or covered there. Body, soul, and spirit. God cannot save your head and not save your hand. If you are genuinely born again, it will affect everything you are doing. Hello. God cannot save your head and not save your leg. That's what will lead us to the caliber of people that must change their lifestyle this resurrection morning. And there's the Lazarus people. Let's go to . John chapter 11. John chapter 11. We're going to read 32 to 44. John chapter 11, 32 to 44. I want everybody to read in concert. This particular teaching is important to me because everybody has one little grave around his corner. Everybody needs to come out of one. Could be foolishness, could be unnecessary emotions. Nothing kills a person like emotions. And that's one thing God does not have. God is not emotional. Otherwise he would have left Adam. But if he left Adam, then he would be ready to be doing that. Rebellion would have been the next name of the earth. There was rebellion in heaven, there would be rebellion on earth. If he didn't address both of them, there would be a problem. Did you hear that? Okay, let's read all together from 32 to 44.
Me. And when he thus had spoken, he cried with a loud voice, Lazarus, come forth. And he that was dead come forth, bound and hand and foot with grave cloth, and his face was bound about with a napkin. Jesus said unto them, Loose him and let him go.
Did you see the same condition you had in Mark? You see there? There will always be a gravestone lying on what you are doing. Your interest is in the other side. The first thing they told Jesus was, if you were here, he wouldn't have died. Can God ever be late? What happened to the choose? If God is late, when did you start running? Who asked you to run? Said, if you were here. Have you ever blamed God for whatever happened to you? I have. That was long ago. Around 35 years ago, I blamed God. If you were here, my mother wouldn't have died. What of the others whose mothers died and they died? Who would they blame? If you were here, and sometimes when we say those things, we look so holy. It makes you feel you have said anything, but God can never be late. He does everything beautiful in his own time. Everything has timing. If you say somebody died in your house, I have a quarrel with my spouse. It's God's fault. Sorry, your problem will multiply. And Jesus said, I'm the resurrection and life. Everything that happens on this earth rotates around me. Where did he lay him? Please listen to me very carefully. Yene manyi si anye naka, okwo si anye naka, o si anye naka. Yene manyi si anye naka. Where did you lay him? Giburu gidewere ge na atachukuta. You did it the way you want to do. Did not look at the instructions very well. He said, I'm coming. You didn't hear I'm coming. If God said he's coming, your business is just to wait. Why bury him? That was the problem of Saul. God said, go and wait. I will come when I like. All he had was 7. And because he did not understand the meaning of 7, he thought 7 was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Chukubonya Amanse. He knows how to kick a stone and make you struggle. Especially if you are not qualified or not thinking the way he's thinking. Where did you lay him? The first step to recovery and coming out of your grave is to find out how you got where you are. That's the first step. Where did you lay him? And when they said that is where it is, he said, put away the stone. I gave you 5 meanings of a stone. Number 1, a stone is a man who has been trained, a man who has been cut to size for an office. If you look at the Solomon's temple, how they quarried stone to size the ministries that will come. Stone is Christ. Stone is the man who has gone through pressure and has become what he will be. Stone is also unbelief. Stone is a time a man gets to a point where he does not pick instructions anymore. He has developed a stony heart, hard heart. These are all traits of stones. When a stone is mentioned, said roll away, it becomes stone of unbelief and stone of Ebakonogu. You have come to the end of the road. But never say never. Never get to your point where you slam the door on God and you know where if you get amazing, it will surprise you. He said, roll away that stone. Rolling away the stone could mean take another step. Come out from that unbelief. Do something you have not done before. Move in the direction that your mind said will not work. Listen, if you don't know how to go beyond your comfort zone, you will not see anything new. That's life. Sometimes you break your own limit. Did you hear what I said? Sometimes you just to limit it because that's only how you can see another one. The enemy of the best is the good. And good things are not always right. That's the next question you will hear. The only thing that is right. Good will never pass for right. To take away the stone. This resurrection morning, that's my challenge to you. Even though stones have been rolled away, you still will roll out some stones by yourself. Roll away that stone. Don't put a boundary for God. Don't tell God I cannot do this. Don't come to a point where you say it's too much. God can take you beyond your too much. God can bring you to your too much and push you beyond there. We all are not the same. Don't be deceived. This man's ceiling may not be your own. Don't look at somebody as the standard. You may be failing God. Roll away the stone. And when the stones are rolled away, the journey just went halfway. Lazarus, come forth. And this same man whose stones have been rolled away had been called up. That's what salvation does for you. Salvation calls you out of your grave. What is salvation? Hello? The way we look at the word salvation is taken from the word salvage. Now, if you take it like that, she said, you are licking it with the mouth of Onyangushi. I want you to take it to a place where you see it beyond that. What is to salvage? Many people know to stop from dying. If you say it like that, that's not the meaning. What is salvage? Salvage means something has decayed to a very bad condition. And then you went there to pick up that thing and began to nurse life back to it. It was from that place you have the word salvation. God met us in the pit of death, and he picked us out of that death. Because the wages of sin is what? Fine. So you can imagine when Jesus called Lazarus out, who was he calling out? He called everybody out. We all have been in one pit or the other pit, but he called every man out of one pit. But you see, sometimes the package of salvation we take in fragments, we take in piecemeals. We don't take it totally. Especially if you come from a religious organization. That's why I say salvation is total. Did you see that God called out Lazarus? But the man was still wearing what? Grave clothes and what? His hands and legs tied. Some of you, it will take God to put away the clothes you wear now. Some grave clothes you are wearing, and your grave clothes come from the past memories you have about the pains you had before time. Nothing hinders a man like the past. Lazarus! What I just said. What matters is not what happened to you. What matters is what happened in you when what happened happened. Because if what happens gets into your spirit, it has the ability to tie your hands and tie your legs. No other work, no other movement. You can't make any move in life again. But there's a force from heaven, greater than the one you have had before. It's called the resurrection power. It's called the resurrection power. And it's come this resurrection morning called Easter. You are coming out of whatever grave. And this time is going to be total. Say, come out. But he that was there, Lazarus, came out, bound, legs and hands. Jesus had to say, now lose him and let him go. See, extra salvation service, you don't need it. Manu na mmiri, you don't need it. Laying the hands of the pastor to complete the work that God has started in your life, you don't need it. Take it at once. If God gave it, it's superior to what man will give you. It's like he that was saved came out but still bound hand and feet. And Jesus had to say, but if Lazarus was not the weak man he was before he went to that place, oh, Jawaburakia, Makanike Potelong, Gebubu, iron. You know when they said death, where is your power? Have you seen somebody who is dead? It's so powerful that can make a very strong man not talk. So powerful that he keeps him at a spot like a stone. That's the power of death. A man who talks, very eloquent man. But the power of death, I put you on what away forever. That is part of what Jesus died to take away. Every man who has lost his voice, God will restore your voice. Amen. A man who has become stone cold because of what happened to you, God will give you motion back again. Amen. Because the power of death came down on you, you are not able to join your mates to do what they do. I bring you a word from heaven. You will do better than those who started before you. Amen. In the name of Jesus. Amen. Lazarus, come forth. And he that was dead. Today is the last day they will tell any bad story about you again. Amen. He that was dead. Come on. The chapter of ugliness has ended in your life. Amen. As we celebrate Easter, the Lord will ease away everything that is hard around you. In the name of Jesus. Lazarus, come forth. My brother, come alive. My sister, come alive. My friend, come alive. That dead business, come alive. That dead relationship, come alive. Lazarus, come forth. And he said, a day has come. A day is coming and now is. When the dead shall hear my voice, and they that hear. What is that? There are dead issues in my life, people's life. This morning they will hear. Amen. And they that hear will live. If there's God in heaven, you will testify of the goodness of the Lord in your life. Rise to your feet, let's pray.